Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of All Caps. I'm Isaac Anderson, author of A Song of Bones in the Garden Maze, and I'm joined by Stephen Boers. Boers or Boers?
Boers. Think the
Boers.
animal or that I'm very boring.
Ah.
Either one works.
Stephen Boers, who's anything but boring. He is the author of a game of. Oh, this is the new book. He's the author of the Reclamation Games. No, it's
Ruination.
the Ruination Games.
Yeah.
This is a book series about, kids forced to fight in a death match where they live, they die, they live, they die. It's fun, exciting stuff. Stephen, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks. I'm doing good. It's a good day.
It's a great day.
It's a great day.
So, tell me about this book. Where'd the idea come from? Like, where were you sitting around one day just thinking of I want to see kids fight to the death? I mean, where's the genesis?
So it started while I was at work and just sort of bored at work, right? You're doing mindless mechanical things and your mind wanders, right?
Yeah.
And I had been playing a video game called Dissidia. It's a Final Fantasy series. It's not a knockoff, but it's sort of like
Yeah.
an adjacent to the mainline series. Um, and this one was the console version. There are better versions of it, but it's essentially where all the characters get together, and there's a reason for them to fight and whatever. And so I was upset that there wasn't really a story in this one. So my mind sort of just warped into like, what could this story end up being?
Hmm.
So the series was going to be like fan story of this. And then when I sat down to write it, I was like, no, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to keep the general idea of what it is, but I'm going to change, the majority of it. So I keep
Right.
the identity, but I lose the series, essentially, the franchise.
There are so many uh, stories that have done that.
Yeah.
You got Terry Brooks stuff. You
Oh,
got
sure.
oh yeah, you got Wheel of Time is basically, a kind of a Lord of the Ringsy kind of inspired thing.
Yep.
Um, so much stuff is inspired by, what came before, and it finds new ways to spin it and evolve it and make it interesting for the modern day. So, what made you decide on your group of characters?
Well, I had Ceres is my like secondary main character, right?
Yeah.
I had him first. He was sort of he was going to be the protagonist, and he was going to sort of just be the essence of the book, and um, the one that we follow and stuff. And he was very much based off of Squall from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yep.
And I realized pretty quickly that that doesn't really work because the reader is going to need to know kind of what's going on. They're going to need to learn the stuff, and they're not going to want to see somebody who's kind of an expert at this already. So that's where I drew in, like, I needed a placeholder for the reader, sort of this Anakin Skywalker, or not Anakin, what Luke Skywalker character who is learning this stuff as we are. And so
Hmm.
that's how Xander came to be. And Xander
Okay.
is just this dude who got abducted into this alternate reality death game. And so, yeah, I'm not sure if that exactly answers your question, but it was sort of just this. I had this want, and then I had this need, and I figured it out.
Yeah, yeah. So the want was to see this interesting scenario and characters that existed, in game form I guess it's kind of like Smash Brothers, is that they're just fighting each other.
Kinda, yeah. It's like a small scale Smash Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why are they there? Why are they fighting in this tournament?
So
Um,
in the original Dissidia game, which was on the PSP, they were summoned there by a goddess, and she was supposed, the um, they're the champions of uh I forget what they call it, but something. And then they have to fight chaos, which is all the villains of the Final Fantasy series.
Okay.
And and so that's, yeah, they draw that into a whole story. But the new version is just, here are the characters and then have fun fighting with them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what drew you to writing? Because it sounds like is this your first project you began, or do you
It's
have
my
other?
it's my first project that I finished. Um,
Okay.
I have had ideas for writing since, I don't know, probably middle school. I didn't grow up thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be a writer." Um, and it was around the time when I, picked up, one of my first Square Enix games, which was, Legend of Dragoon, that the ideas started flowing, and I sort of based, a lot of ideas on that series.
Hmm.
And so that's kinda how just writing got started for me. But this story in particular, was just, I was bored, I was inspired and excited to write it, and I never expected to finish it. And then I got really close to finishing it, and I was like, I kind of really want to finish this. So I got book one
Those are
done, and then it
those
went from there.
those are the best projects.
Yeah.
Um, I I find whenever I'm too invested in something, it's very hard to work on, and it's very hard to finish.
Yeah.
But if something's just for fun, it's so effortless to just work on and get it across the finish line. It's
Hmm.
not not that you shouldn't care about what you're doing, but not caring too much is definitely helpful.
Yeah. And not that every part of it's easy.
Yeah,
But the easy parts do make it fun, and then, the hard part can be connecting those pieces, but it's also really fulfilling. So when you do get it done, it's this like accomplishment feeling that's addicting. You want more of it.
yeah. So, how many books have you published in this series so far?
There's 4 books published right now. There's a game of pawns, a game of knights, a game of rooks, and a game of kings.
We got some of the covers here. Game of Pawns. So, I'm guessing you're escalating in the power of the chess pieces in the
Yeah.
titles. I assume you're also escalating the trauma and peril within the pages as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, a game of pawns is mostly the introduction. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Xander experiencing this, understanding what's going on, and then book two gets more involved with some of the characters, and then yeah, we just keep escalating from there.
Yes, Mike Cahoon is my co-host over on Pin and Dragon. And
Nice.
yes, boredom leads to many, many powerful things. Some better than others.
Yeah, definitely.
So we were talking before a little about outlining,
Hmm.
and you're not that big of an outliner, you said.
I not
So
typically.
when you mentioned you knew this was going to be kind of a 4 book thing. It expanded
Mhm.
later on, but you initially planned for 4. So as someone who doesn't necessarily outline, what made you decide this is this book, this is this book, and this is that book?
Well, originally, the idea came as the whole thing, right? I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I could do, one round. You have to just win one time, and then you're out. And that didn't
Right.
feel very fun to me, because part of it was like, I don't want to make this book gigantic. I want it to be sort of bite-sized and enjoyable without feeling overwhelmed.
Gotcha.
Um, and I knew that I had to break it off into little pieces, right? So um, I knew that Xander's first game was going to be book one, and I knew that he couldn't just win in 2 or 3 books. It had to be, he had to get home by, um, by book four, or die by book four, or something had needed to happen by book four to sort of
Okay.
end it. Um, so I just had these, I guess, signposts that I wanted to get to, and it didn't make sense. I guess you get kind of a feel for, does this belong in this book or not, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like books feel a different way. Sort of like I think I've used the analogy of food before, like the flavor's different for this book versus this book, and this series
Yeah.
versus this series, right? So if the Ruination Game is pizza, book one could be, you know, your basic cheese. Book two could add pepperoni, and book three adds another element. So when I had these signposts in mind, they didn't have the same flavor as each other. So I knew there
Okay.
had to be some separation there. Um, that's at least what made sense in my brain.
How do you balance evolving your character and also evolving your world throughout the series? Because you don't want your character to, learn too much in book one and be, oh, I know how to do this by book
Mhm.
two. And you don't also want it to feel, I guess, too powerless, or else the
Yeah,
reader doesn't feel fulfilled. This like it's a balancing act.
yeah, it definitely was. It's weird because when I wrote a game of pawns, I knew very little about the writing world, right?
Hmm.
I knew enough to say, all right, I wanted some kind of structure. I didn't really follow something like the hero's journey necessarily, but I knew enough of it to say, all right, this has to make sense, and he's got to grow in this kind of way.
Yeah.
Um, and I also knew going into book two, there has to be more growth. And so with book one being an introduction into the game, I wanted book two to be an introduction into um, the fears and being able to conquer fears, right? So it's sort of just finding different avenues of what do I want to focus on as the growth aspect. So book
Right. Yeah.
one could be the overall experience, his competence. Book two, overcoming fear, and then so on and so forth. So finding different ways to grow the character so it doesn't feel like he's already grown, he's done. And there's always ups and downs for all the aspects anyway, um, throughout the series. But
Hmm.
yeah, being able to sort of hone in on this is the important one for the book, I think helped a lot.
Trinity says, listening in and multitasking. It's lovely to see real human persons in the creative world. Isn't that great?
It
We were
is,
talking
yeah,
about AI monstrosities and horrors in the before show.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe we'll touch on it later.
maybe.
Um, but when you wrote your series, you wrote
Mhm.
all of them at once
I did, yeah,
before releasing them.
yeah. Before releasing book one, I had book seven done.
My goodness. Okay, so that is how long did that take for you? Is this like several years of work, or is this
Oh
are you a
yeah,
fast writer?
I both, I think. So I don't remember exactly when I started. I think I started a game of pawns in 2018.
Mm,
That one took me probably the longest to do altogether with me working on it. Because
gotcha.
I finished like right before COVID hit. Book two, however, I did like while COVID was a problem, right? Um, and so I'm not very consistent with my time frames here. um, and writing books three and four, I had side projects, side stories that I was writing that were not a part of the series.
Yeah.
And so intermixing with those, I've written, well, from start to now, 10 books in total.
Okay.
So yeah, and some of those have taken me years, and a few of those have taken me months.
Okay. So what you got 10 books ready to shoot out. What makes you decide what project to focus on? Is as they come, or do you have a box of ideas like I think I'm ready to do this one, I'm not ready to do this one yet? What makes you decide what to work on?
Well, I for the Ruination Game, it was sort of this pressure of I need to finish the series.
Right.
I did query the first book several times. There's like I didn't really know what I was doing when I was writing, so a lot of this was like unfinished querying and shouldn't have been queried kind of thing. But once I got to the point of I'm going to publish this, I knew that I needed to finish the series, and I wanted to finish it before I started publishing because I didn't want to, you know, publish books 1 through 5 and then be like, well, I never finished 6, you know. Um, so that was part of it. I knew before I published anything, I was going to finish a project
Yeah.
from start to finish. And beyond that, it has been a little bit of what's inspiring me in the moment. And I let that kind of take me because I have the free time to do it. You know, my publishing plans take me to January of 2027. So
Nice.
I have that much time. And then beyond that, so I just started writing book 2 of a new series,
Okay.
and
Is that also urban fantasy, or are you branching out in other genres?
it's branching out. It's more of I don't know if I want to call it epic fantasy. It's
Okay.
definitely that sort of area. It's
Yeah.
very
Not
based
not
off of
Earth.
yeah, not Earth. It's very based off of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
Um, so well, maybe not based on, but very inspired by.
So
Um,
in
yeah,
inspired in what way? So are you working with like public domain characters mixing together, or are you like
no. So these characters are all original.
okay.
But the general theme is very Kingdom Hearts. They're these
Okay.
to use Kingdom Hearts terms without spoiling anything. You have Keyblade wielders and you have Heartless in this world, and the Keyblade wielders have to get rid of the Heartless essentially, or protect people from them. So
Gotcha.
that's generally what's going on with it. We're not going to other worlds or anything like that, but yeah, that's I had an idea for what was gonna be like book 5, and I'm like, "I really wanna do this, so let's write that."
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So it sounds like you really have things mapped out. What do you do when you're not writing? Like, what do you do for your how do you make your living?
I work in e-commerce, so
Oh,
I list things online. Yeah. Very
very
exciting,
cool.
right?
Very exciting. Very exciting. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're in a good place to market your book eventually.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
So for me, I'm waiting. I When I begin marketing, I want to like drop a big chunk of money I've saved
Mm.
for marketing, and I want
Yeah.
to do it when the series is out and ready to go. Hopefully by then, book 1 and book 2 have been slowly gaining reviews and traction. Just because I hope anyway. I hope that there is some not power, some weight in seeing this book came out 5 years ago. This book came out 4 years ago. This book came out 2 years ago, and there's the set. I hope that
Yeah.
there's some weight, like, oh, this person's working.
Yeah.
So but I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I
kinda
guess
my
I'll find
hope
out.
too. Yeah. I definitely want the idea to be, "Oh, let's try this author because he already has, you know,
Yeah,
4 or 5 books out." You know, the whole idea of, rapid release, got me interested in
yeah,
publishing the way that I'm doing it, right? So I published book 1 August of last year, 2025. And so I was like, "All right, every other month, I'm gonna publish a book till I get the first 4 out." And now it's going to be October, December, January to finish out the series, and I'm hoping that draws people in to say, okay, well, there's this
yeah.
catalog now. I don't have to wait.
Yes, having a catalog is big.
Yeah.
When I released Song of Bones, my first little novella had a lot of sales.
Nice.
People went back, oh, I'll get this too. So, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say you don't write book 2 to sell book 2. You write book 2 to sell book 1 again,
Yeah. Yeah.
is what I've heard. So, and your month to month release schedule, have you had a lot of success with that? Like, what has your experience been with that so far?
I think so far it's been pretty typical for a new author. From what I
Okay.
hear, it's pretty average, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm not
Average is good.
putting yeah, I'm not putting like a ton of money or anything into it because I don't have a ton of money to put into it. Um, but yeah, I'm happy with how things are turning out. I've heard good things. I would like, more. So if anybody wants to
Yeah.
buy the book, go ahead.
I've read the first bit of it,
Yeah,
and it hooked me pretty quickly.
I'm glad.
It's the kind of thing I like. It's got that tension, it's got that suspense, it's got that danger.
Yeah,
And it has characters that feel like, they're not superheroes. They're
yeah,
just they're people in a weird situation, and they got to figure it out. And that's my favorite kind of character.
nice. Yeah. That's definitely the goal. It's not to be these superhuman people. I suppose I do have somebody in there who kind of seems that way,
Yeah.
and it's by design, and there is a reason for it, but you don't really learn that until later.
So, what advice would you give somebody who wants to write a series like this? He wants to like sit down. You recommend writing the entire series out? Like,
I would probably say write a standalone first.
yeah,
um, I think it makes more sense because we talked about how you want a catalog, right? Well, if somebody doesn't like book one, they're probably not going to
yeah,
pick up book two. But if they don't like book one because the story's not their flavor, but they like your writing, then they might go to different series or different,
yeah.
world, and that just makes sense to me. So I am excited to branch out when I'm ready for that to publish other types of books. But I would say maybe make your second published book a series, or if you are writing a series, that's totally fine. Um, but don't be afraid to branch out to other things.
Yeah, yeah. Write a couple of novellas.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Short stories, novellas, they do wonders for if not your audience, but just for you as a writer to get out of
yeah.
your headspace of this one story.
Once you write the end a couple of times, it really you start to understand. Okay, this is what it takes
Hmm.
to write a story. This, and then especially if it's a smaller story, you can really critique it
Yeah.
and not feel too bad about it.
Oh yeah.
If you write something really, really big, like, oh man, this is too hard to fix now.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
if it's something small, you can write something. Oh, that sucks, but oh, it's short. I know how to fix it, and you can spend a couple weeks fixing it, and then oh, okay, I've learned that.
Hmm.
So, starting small, definitely, I would always recommend. But I mean, I don't think I've ever met a writer who did that, who actually like logically started small. Like everyone
Yeah.
always goes for their big masterpiece. And I think that's just naturally, what people have to do, I
I
think.
mean, it's what's in your brain, right? It's the
Yeah.
exciting project. The small projects aren't as exciting because you haven't been building up to them so long.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the stories and books that inspired you?
So, like I said, I've been inspired a lot by video games, Legend of Dragoon, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Those really got me. But um, book wise, a huge inspiration for me, including for the Ruination Game, was the Iron Druid Chronicles by Kevin Hearn.
Oh,
That's is it a 9-book series? I think. About the last druid in today's day and age, and all the gods are real and all the religions are real, and it's a really cool concept. So if you haven't heard it, if you haven't listened to it, it's very fun. um, that inspired me a lot. And then also some Scott Meyer, which is like a comedic writer, got me as well with a few different projects, but the one that started my interest in him was the Off to Be the Wizard series, which is a dude finds a computer program that can alter the world, alter
okay.
reality, and he ends up going into like medieval times because he gets in trouble with the government because he just suddenly collected all this money out of nowhere. And he finds a ton of other people who have also found this program, who have also gotten in trouble with the government, who have also traveled to medieval England to be wizards. So
So that's what you do. That's the natural thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I think, was it one of the characters had published a book in the story about the best time to live in medieval England, and so that was supposed to be the draw of, find these people and put them in this time frame.
Okay. And so it's like it's it's like a fly trap almost.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
Wow.
yeah.
So what drew you to you mentioned you do urban fantasy
Mhm.
and you have some high fantasy stuff. Any
I do.
sci-fi, any
I
horror or
have
mystery or
I have a middle grade sci-fi comedy about an alien who comes to Earth to try to conquer it by selling water.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay,
he
okay.
doesn't realize that the blue stuff on the planet is water. So yeah, that
The
currently is in beta stages, though.
the first thing I ever tried to write was about an alien coming to Earth to try to win a hot dog eating contest.
Nice.
That was his goal. All of my stories begin as funny ideas.
Yeah.
And this story took a turn, like from page one, it became dark and
Oh wow.
strange.
A
The
hot
hot
dog
dog
eating
thing,
contest.
the hot dog thing was completely forgotten. And now
Yeah.
it was like aliens land in this farm, and the kid, like his dog is missing. Has to
Okay.
find his dog. His dog's name was Sheriff. I was really proud of that.
Yeah.
Fun name for a dog is Sheriff. So he's out calling for Sheriff, and Sheriff wasn't coming. Where's Sheriff? So I don't know if the aliens grab Sheriff or not. I just know
Mm,
the kid finds the aliens. The alien ship is destroyed, and the
okay.
aliens are like, "We need you to go get these things, or we're gonna make life bad for you." So these aliens like blackmail this kid to go out and steal stuff. So that was the story. I need to get back to that someday.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I ever did.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
banger.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
scary. It was interesting.
Yeah. Add a little horror to it. There you go.
A little bit of touch of horror, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I always like to ask people because it makes great clips.
Mhm.
What you kind of mentioned, your influences, but what books would you recommend, especially the books you think aren't getting enough eyes on them these days?
So I will recommend two, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I'll recommend When Shadows Fall. It's an indie book, um, and it's about a girl who she's got like huge anxiety issues, of panic attacks and stuff,
Yeah.
and her sister gets taken into these like magical woods with shadow creatures. She's got to go in there to find her and save her, basically.
Into the Shadow
So
Woods.
yeah, it's a very good book. It's got an interesting magic system with like a technology based stuff. It's really good. And then the not indie one will be, and I don't know the name of the actual book, but I know the series. It's the Deathgate cycle. Um,
Deathgate Cycle.
Deathgate cycle. So one of the things that got me into reading was actually three computer games that we bought when I was a kid, and it came in a set. It was one was Shannara, based off of the Shannara series,
Okay.
by Terry Brooks. One was Deathgate by the Deathgate cycle. I don't know who wrote that. Sorry. And then the other one was Companions of Xanth, which I cannot find the books for, but I assume it's a book because the other ones were. But yeah, Deathgate is a very good series. Deathgate cycle. I've only read book one so far, but I want to get to the other ones.
Is it like a high fantasy thing, or is it a
Yeah,
dark fantasy thing?
it's
Or
definitely a high fantasy, maybe epic fantasy. And I don't even know where to start with that. This is like if you like Lord of the Rings, you go this direction if you want something totally different. It's like
Interesting.
of that quality, I think. Well,
Wow.
that might be putting it out there a bit, but I see it as like this is top tier fantasy that is not Lord of the Rings.
Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to that piques my interest.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
And I think it's around that time frame too. Maybe a little later than
Oh, interesting. Because
Tolkien, but yeah.
I love reading old weird books.
Yeah.
Books that predate, pop culture things that defined the genre later. So
Yeah.
I like old fantasy. I like old sci-fi that came out before Star Wars.
Okay.
I grabbed a book. I think it's on my shelf. I don't see it. Where are you? He's over there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's called Little Fuzzies.
Okay.
It was written in like the 60s, I think, pre-Star Wars, pre-Ewoks.
Yeah.
It's about these people are strip mining planets, and there's a rule: if you find sentient life on the planet, you can't strip mine it.
Oh, okay.
And this logger is out in the woods, and he finds these little teddy bear guys. They're kind of like Ewoks. They're
Yeah.
very, very Ewok-like. And he thinks, I think these guys are actually smart. I think they're trying to communicate. So the story is about, this group of people discovering these little fuzzies, what they call them.
Yeah.
And the big corporate overlords have been like, oh crap, what do we do now? We got to get rid of these things. We got to strip mine the planet. So it's a fun, weird sci-fi thing that it feels different from modern sci-fi. They say a lot of like everyone's smoking cigarettes and like,
Okay.
their language is very white collar from like the 50s, like truckers, and like it's cool. It's unique. It's pre-Star Wars, pre-Star Trek. It feels fun.
Fuzzies. All right. Cool.
Little fuzzies.
Little fuzzies. Yeah.
I gotta find it. Where's the cover? Really drew. Here it is. Okay. I saw this cover, and it was the most insane looking thing.
Yeah, I get the Ewok thing. It's a little different, but yeah.
So this cover had to have been made after Star Wars, though. I don't know. There are dates in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But I like weird old books.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
That's cool.
Well, would you like to play a little game?
I would love to play a little game.
I've put together a little thing. So your story is about people in a hard situation fighting to survive.
Yeah.
So I figure you're kind of an expert on that. So we're going to play a game called Will They Survive? So we're going to take popular characters and put them in other popular places, and we're going to see how well they do there. So
awesome.
The very first place we're going to go, we're going to see Katniss Everdeen in the Scary Ice movie. How well do you think she would do in this situation?
She's resourceful. I feel like she would do okay. She's willing to do what's necessary to survive, even if it's hard, or even if it's questionable, or even if it's at the death.
Would it push her more to villain territory in this story? I think she would be kind of really brutal.
I think she might, but I think she'd be okay with it in the end. Maybe not okay with it. She'd be traumatized by herself, but she would do it,
Which I think it would end up with her and maybe two other people.
Yeah.
And maybe let's say she's not the thing. She never gets infected.
Okay.
Is she able to kill Kurt Russell's character, or does he kill her?
She's got main character energy. I think she wins. Yeah.
You think she does good? Okay. That's a good start. Katniss survives the thing. Well, what about Steve in Escape from New York?
I don't know the movie.
You don't know the movie?
I don't know the movie.
The movie's insane.
Is it?
So New York City has been turned into a penal colony for some reason. They
Okay.
just think it's better to put all the crazy, insane people in New York City.
Hmm.
The president of the United States, Air Force One, is for some reason flying over New York City, and the people, they see, oh, that's the president's plane, and they shoot him down. I think maybe he was betrayed by someone inside the government. I don't remember exactly. But the
Okay.
president has this emergency pod. It looks like a red Easter egg. He
Okay.
crawls inside in Air Force One and shoots them down. And so they need to find somebody to go into New York City to find the president. So they get Snake Plissken, the toughest man ever. He's so cool.
All right.
And to make sure that he actually finds the president, they inject him with like an explosive thing in his head. You're going to blow up in 24 hours unless you find the president. It is so much fun. It is such a fun, weird, crazy movie.
That's crazy. Yeah. Steve ain't surviving that.
Hey,
He's too nice.
If I think that'd be so funny. It'd be so fun. There's so
It'd
many
be fun to
characters
watch.
the movie's an interesting mix of like, here's this evil man, and
Yeah.
here are these happy, funny people you meet. Oh, hello, how are you doing? We're in New York City. We're gonna survive. I drive a taxi. It's like, I think it'd be very fun to see. But yeah, I think I see Steve is doing well for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe for a little bit. He'd be fun to watch, but there's no way
Yeah.
he's surviving the end.
Oh man, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Okay,
Yeah.
Steve dies in New York. So sad. Okay, Kevin McAllister in Jurassic Park.
Oh, I think he survives. I think not only does he survive, he probably kills everybody on the island, including the dinosaurs.
I think in this situation, Kevin is responsible for the dinosaurs getting out.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he
For sure.
in this situation he causes it.
Yeah.
Somehow. So I don't
Isn't
know,
there like
Is
there like a thing where Kevin is actually this psychotic person or something? Yeah, somebody from the guy from Saw.
I have heard that theory. I've definitely heard that theory. Now,
So yeah, he definitely released the dinosaurs, and I think he has a plan to kill them all at the end, just to waste everybody's money.
Yeah, I think in this series of events, we have Kevin in the main Jurassic Park like building.
Mm-hmm.
The dinosaurs are wreaking havoc, and he has, unbeknownst to him, the DNA canister.
Okay.
Dennis doesn't get killed outside. He's still in the building, trying to blend it with everybody else, trying to get the canister from Kevin. So we have him acting as like the bumbling criminal trying to get Kevin. Kevin trying to outsmart him as there are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be a fun time. Yeah.
Kevin definitely survives Jurassic Park. Okay. Now here is the final kind of bonus round.
Okay.
So we got a bunch of people. They're in a saw trap. Kevin has put them all in a saw trap. Which of these people are surviving the saw trap? We got Elvis, the king. We got Gollum, the wretched creature. We have Mr. Bean, the alien, and a drunk man.
A drunk man. All right. Well, that's interesting. I can't imagine Elvis Presley surviving a Saw situation, no matter what it is.
He's the guy who dies to prove the situation's serious.
Mm-hmm. He's the one that dies first.
We've killed Elvis.
Yeah.
Now, Gollum has kind of lived through Saw situations.
Yeah, Gollum's a weird one. Or not a weird one, but he's a really good one, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's willing to do whatever it is to survive. And if the ring's involved, he's going after it. So I feel like
he's cutting off fingers, he's gouging out eyes.
He'll bite them off. Yeah, he'll bite off whatever he wants. I think he'll survive. He'll be okay. He'll be himself.
He'll be himself.
Yeah.
His lovely little self.
Mr. Bean. He's got to survive it, right? on accident. Like he
I think,
won't
yeah,
purposefully
he,
hurt anybody. It'll
he
just
sur-
fall into his lap.
I think Mr. Bean accidentally kills Elvis,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he doesn't realize it.
Yep. No,
I
he's
think Mr.
got to
Bean
be
will
innocent
survive
by the
as
end.
long as it's funny.
Yeah.
If it's funny that Mr. Bean dies like to a banana peel, I
Okay,
think he
fair.
would then die.
That's fair. Yeah. And then we have Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow, and I feel like he would not survive. I think he would have a good run for a while,
Yeah.
and then something would happen and it'd be too much
I mean,
because he's too selfish for it.
that's right. That's right. He would be kind of selfish in the situation, wouldn't he? He did die in the movie. He was handcuffed to the thing and he died.
Yeah.
So that was kind of his own little saw trap. He could have cut off his arm.
Yeah.
I think he still had a sword. Yeah, he used his sword.
He
to
did
get
have a
that
sword.
lantern.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could have.
He just wasn't desperate enough.
So maybe he's smart enough to outsmart some of the traps.
Yeah.
But
I don't
he
think
ultimately succumbs.
Yeah. I don't think he makes it all the way.
Yeah.
So we got Gollum and maybe Mr. Bean.
Maybe Mr. Bean. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Gollum. He's so miserable. Like, of course he survived Saw.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
for this, Saw's like nothing compared to what he's been through.
Oh boy. Well, thank you for playing. I guess I forgot what the name of the game was. People survive things.
Yeah, people survive things. Yeah.
So when you're writing your stories, are you thinking like the peril your characters go through? Are they strictly people fighting, or are they like situations like traps and like puzzles and like how do you approach that?
So it depends on what's going on exactly, right? So the point of the Ruination Game is that, not to get into too much spoilers, but there is a reason for them to be fighting together.
Right.
And you get kind of early on, like certain weapons are out of bounds. You can't get a gun. It's against the rules. And there are other things that you can't get that are against the rules. So they want you to be fighting, preferably hand to hand or some kind of variation of it. And so there aren't really traps and stuff to get around, but there are situations where characters can use what they have, what they're given through the game, to create problematic situations, right? So there is trap-like stuff within the game, but it has to be kind of specific to that character, if that makes sense.
So whoever's running the situation knows everybody on like a personal level.
Kinda. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you'd like to talk about? Oh, maybe we can talk about the scary AI bug in the room. Where do you see AI going? Like, what's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario?
I think worst case scenario is kind of what's threatening to happen right now, which is just it's flooding the market, right? And so the worst case scenario is people are not seen unless they have this massive audience already, which is happening. But the question is it going to be long term or not, right? Because AI doesn't put out good quality stuff, which thankfully is easy enough to find. That it's not putting out this quality stuff. Arguably, some authors aren't putting out good quality stuff. They're still learning their craft and maybe publishing a little too soon. I almost did that, and it's a matter of doing your research and understanding where you're at versus where you want to be. And I think if people take that to heart, then they're going to have the quality over the quantity, and the risk there is going to be, are people going to be looking hard enough to find the quality stuff? I do think that because AI isn't putting out the quality stuff, people will notice that and AI won't be profitable. That's my hope, I guess. And so best case scenario is that this is temporary, and then because it's not profitable for AI people to be doing this, um, they'll stop, and then we'll skew back into the norm.
Hmm.
Um, I think probably what's going to happen though is a bit of a blend. So probably AI will be incorporated with other authors to some degree. I kind of hope it's to a lesser degree. I'm not
Yeah,
really sure what that looks like. I
like
haven't.
marketers.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
It'd be great if you had an AI marketing team.
sure.
Maybe not making ads for you, but like giving you like,
Yeah,
here are all the stats.
yeah, sure. Like just getting information out of it. I think that would be
Yeah,
fine. AI can be a tool. I don't have a problem with it being a tool, but it's got to be there. There needs to be limits, right?
yeah. Here's what I
Yeah.
think is actually going to happen. So
Hmm.
we're going to have maybe a year or two more of these AI books coming to Amazon, and they're going to be their quality is going to get better and better and better. They're never going to quite be as amazing as a fresh idea from a person. Like
Sure.
you're not going to get another Lord of the Rings or another Foundation or another Hyperion from
Yeah.
AI. But you will get plenty of Jack Reacher stuff.
Mm.
You're going to get lots of kind of pulpy, kind of formulaic, fun stuff eventually, and it'll be passable, I think.
Okay.
And once that happens, the person who wins is going to be the person who makes an app that readers download. Authors and writers won't download it. Readers will download it.
Mm.
And that AI will make them their book that only they read.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
won't be published anywhere. It'll make their little book. I'm like, did you like that? Would you like 10 more of that book? That series? Yes, I want that. Would you like me to mail that as a paperback to your house? Yes, I do. And this person has this little AI author who works for him and just sends him his books. And that
Mm.
is going to kill the little Amazon slap factory. Because as soon as that gets out into the world, um, the AI writer bros, there's no money left. They go, oh, I guess we got to move on to the next thing. And the
Mm.
real writers will be, oh, we're still real. We're still here. I think that's what's going to happen. That's the next thing. The person who makes that little AI app for the readers is going to be very, very, very rich.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens, then yes, absolutely.
I think that we are 3 or 4 years away from that being a reality. I
It's
think.
possible. Scary how possible that is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's best case scenario because
Yeah.
you have the people who have that appetite for that kind of book. They're not looking for anything like expanding their mind. They want like
Yeah.
their next, little macaroni and cheese meal,
That's
basically.
fair. Yeah. That's fair. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, sticking it to kind of the man of, Amazon being this
Oh,
massive
Amazon's gonna
thing.
hate it. They're gonna
Yeah.
hate it. If this happens, there's gonna be a massive, fake, pretentious push saying how evil this is
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
the industry. And what'll make these, I think, okay, is these aren't books that are being published anywhere. I can't buy your book.
Hmm.
This is a book that's made just for you, like exactly for you. It won't exist anywhere else.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but yeah. Yeah.
I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen
Yeah,
eventually.
it could.
And then, of course, I think absolute best case scenario is the AI knows everyone and says, you know what, you're looking for a book? I got just the book for you. This guy, Stephen Boer, he wrote an amazing series that I bet you would love and recommends your book to 100,000 people, and
Yeah.
they all buy it. I think that's the best case scenario, the best. But of course, that requires the AI knowing everyone, and that
Yeah.
opens its own little can of worms.
I think that one would be okay though. To be a large scale recommender of
Yeah,
books that people write, then yeah, that works. That's okay.
and then of course the next step is the little person who has their book series. They'll have a button that says "Make movie," and
Oh no.
they'll have their own little personal movies if they're.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be
I mean, you see
that will
some.
happen
Yeah.
in 20 to 30 years, probably actually maybe
Oh,
6 years,
sooner
but
for sure. I
definitely
mean,
in 20 or 30 that'll be prevalent.
they're making trailers with pure AI at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Some of them are kind of funny.
I haven't
They
bothered
don't
watching them, but
they don't look good.
yeah, no,
They don't look good, but I can tell someone wrote them. Like
mm,
a human wrote this funny little thing. It
okay,
wasn't made by the AIs. The AIs voiced everything and made all the visuals. It doesn't look very good yet.
yeah,
Um, but I think when you have the mixture of the human with the AI stuff working together, then you get something dangerous
yeah,
rather than the
for
AI just
sure,
doing everything by themselves.
yeah.
It's gonna be a weird. It's
It'll
gonna be
be
a weird
yeah,
world.
it's going to be a transition for sure,
I think we'll be okay. I think we'll come out on this
probably.
side okay. I think
That's
especially
the
when
goal.
I think people will value the human written stuff more.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I
I
hope it means that I can sell my ebook for $10 now instead of $3.
we'll see. Yeah. But it's good to know, that just because AI is doing stuff doesn't mean you can't. Yes, things are being flooded in the market, but if it's still enjoyable to do, then you might as well do it, right?
Yeah, I'm writing these stories for my grandchildren, for my
Yeah.
great
There you go.
grandchildren. I
Yeah.
don't, I didn't really know my great grandparents very well.
Okay.
Oh, we had some dinners sometimes, and we didn't really interact.
Mm,
I don't have anything from them. That's kind of like my family line only goes back so far in my memory and my knowledge.
right.
I know it goes all the way back to France, I believe, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So I want to leave something behind that my ancestors can be proud of, and say this is something that my ancestor wrote. Look,
Yeah.
it's here. We have it today. We can read it. We can know
Yeah.
about him a little bit.
That's a
So
cool
that's
thing.
it's very cool. I mean, the
Yeah.
things you've written so far are going to be in your family forever,
Yeah.
absolutely forever. They're good in 20 like in the year 3000. They're going to have your descendants watching this show saying, "Look,
Yeah.
this was your great descendant. He had this funny show with this funny man, and they talked about books. Here's the book he talked about. You can read it right
Yeah.
now. And here's the movie that I made of his story. We can we can watch it right now."
Yeah. There you go. That
Yeah,
would be something. I don't really think much about like leaving a legacy kind of thing
yeah.
very often, but it's very true, you know.
I mean, it's
Mo
it's easier than ever now
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
everything we tweet, everything we put on Facebook and Instagram, that's forever now.
Mhm.
That's not going to get burned in a fire. The family
No.
scrapbook isn't going to get lost in a garage sale. That's there actually forever.
Yeah.
There's going to be AIs and apps and services that literally go through, like the ancestry.com thing is going
Mhm.
to evolve into here's what your great grandfather was doing today. And
Yeah.
here's a video of him saying something.
Yeah, here's a TikTok of your
Here's a
great
TikTok of
grandfather.
him like, hey, doing something stupid, falling down.
Yeah. And the cringe will last lifetimes.
Forever. Forever. It's gonna be it's in some ways it's very beautiful. We've never had anything like what we're about to have
Mhm.
when it comes to understanding previous
Yeah.
generations. Because I look at my grandparents growing up like during World War II times.
Yeah.
We have a couple black and white photographs. We have stories. Maybe someone wrote things down. We're
Sure.
gonna have so much information now on
Yeah.
everything. That's gonna
I
be my great grand. What's that gonna be like? What's that gonna?
Some of it'll be good. I think a lot of it will be worse than most people think it'll be. It'll
Yeah,
be, either overwhelming, cringy, or, just maybe, like, too much information kinda thing, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
for what it'll be good for, it'll be really good,
yeah.
hopefully.
Here's to weird new futures.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, how do you want people to find you? Where do people go to get your book? Where do people go to follow you?
So my books are on Amazon, and they're on Audible. The 4th one is still being made, so 4th audiobook is still being made, but
Oh, cool.
otherwise, Amazon and Audible. And you can find me on X. I think what is my handle?
I
At
actually have it written down over here.
Oh, thank you.
See,
I'm so bad at it.
you are Stephen T. Boers. 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 63.
There we
Stephen
go.
T. Boers 63. I think I think I have it in the description as well. I
Oh,
probably
cool.
should have just said that. That would have been easier.
Either way, yeah. So you can find me there. I do have a website. I don't use it. You're welcome to go there. I might update it eventually.
Yeah. Websites are good.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Sure. I'm not a big fan of it, but yeah, some people
Well,
like
I mean, use what's helpful.
Yeah.
Whatever makes your job easier, that's what you got to
Mhm.
use.
Yeah. I mean, some of it's just I got to get used to using it, but
Yeah.
that takes practice. So,
Well, cool. Thank you for coming on the show. This has been a delight.
yeah.
When is your next book releasing?
October 2026. So it'll be the second Tuesday of October.
The second Tuesday of October. We'll have to get together again when we get
Yeah.
close to that time.
Yeah. Be looking forward to
Very
it.
cool.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, and thank you everyone for watching. Like,